access, provide support, resources, so on and so forth. And I've been doing this for a long time. Prior to the Black Panther Challenge, I've been in the cause space and cause marketing, supporting everyone from cancer research to the NAACP, so on and so forth, since I was very early on in my career. And of late, maybe in the last 2 years, I've gotten the chance to go around and speak to schools and speak at organizations. I've spoken at South by Southwest. I've spoken all over the place. And one thing that I've realized is that people speak too much about themselves. And and I realized that from being in schools. You know, I'll go to these high schools and people introduce me and they'll say things like, he's done this and he's done that and he's gonna tell you about yourself and talk about himself. So I just want to lay some foundation. This is gonna be a very collaborative keynote. We are going to be in conversation. We're going to learn how to be in conversation because that's the only way that we can move the needle and do the things we need to do together. So this isn't about me, it's about us. So the way we're going to do that, so that everyone's super engaged, I'm going to tell you a little bit about my background. I'm going to give you some thoughts that I've had recently. We're going to do a little thing together where we learn more about each other. And then after that, we're going to have some conversation with each other. So does that sound good? All right. So again, thank you, Ashlyn, for speaking to some of the background and some of the things that I've done recently. One thing that gets lost in my bio, because it's not there because it doesn't get you jobs and speaking engagements, is my upbringing. So I'm from Yonkers, New York. For those of you who aren't familiar, Yonkers is actually the last school system in the North desegregated. There's actually a whole special on HBO, and the implications of that in Yonkers are stifling. I have my best friend here who's also from that same area in that school system, so he can attest to that afterwards if you want to speak to him. But I grew up basically in the era where people would take the black kids and the Latino kids and just throw us into like these white schools, right? They're just like, oh, you're gonna be the test. You're gonna be, you're gonna be the case study. We're gonna just throw you in these white schools, and you have these kids like myself who are from, the municipal housing and things like that, in school with all of this, not just white people, but like real white privilege. I mean, New York has old money. In New York, you have the money that is funding most of the things that are happening in this country. And I went to school with their kids. So for me, I didn't know what to think, who I was, how to navigate going to school in this very wealthy area, and then going back to my little neighborhood where every day I had to worry about getting shot. And I think that this is an interesting thing because this is what a lot of black and brown youth deal with every single day, right? And we don't understand it sometimes. Even I don't understand it because I'm flying down to speak at Sandy Baptist Church about them. I'm not them anymore, right? But I try to always remember how that felt. And it's important for me to do that because, for example, I woke up this morning and I was thinking about the advent of social media. And I think most people in this room are probably around, my age or up. So we didn't grow up with social media, except for you, Zan. So we didn't grow up with social media. But the ramifications of social media on the human psyche, soul, on trauma, and the PTSD of the black experience is powerful. Because what I was reading this morning was an article about these three black churches in Louisiana that were burned down in the last 10 days. And the fact that it hasn't gotten much play. And then I was reading about someone who I was actually, I had a relationship with, you've probably heard he passed recently, Nipsey Hussle. Very, very, very good man. Did some work on the Black Panther Challenge. We met and we were in communication quite a bit, and very good person. And I was thinking about the fact that in this week alone, I've seen so much Black death. Right? I was like, just from the internet, just from the internet, just from Instagram, Twitter, I'm like, Black churches being burned down. Not only did Nipsey die, but the video of him being shot is online. His girlfriend running to the hospital, asking, is he okay? That video was not only online, but they made jokes about it. Black experience Black lives as a joke. Black bodies as the norm. And like I grew up in a way where I knew that these things were happening. They were happening to me. Someone was writing, nigger on my locker in high school. But that was what was happening to me, and it was happening to me, and it was a bad experience happening to me, but there was more, and it was better for us. But what if you see that every single day? It is suffocating. It is stifling. And I wanted to lay that groundwork before I get into some of the other things about us. Because I want just those few points to really be in our minds as we do what we're about to do. So